This programme is the Petro-Canada Lubricants Porsche Club Championship with Pirelli. Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to Snetterton, the third event in the 2021 Petro-Canada Lubricants Porsche Club Championship with Pirelli. The two events under our belt so far, Donington Park and the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. And today we arrive to race on the 300 circuit here at Snetterton. Let's take a quick look and see what the championship tables are like as we arrive here in Class 1. It's Mark McAleer, 5 points clear of Simon Clark. Pete Morris still in third from James Cayley. Jake McAleer next up from Richard Bayston. Class 2 headed by Matt Kyle Henney. Kevin Molyneux is 10 points behind in second. Then it's Paul Simpson, Richard Steyer in fourth. In the Boxster Cup, Will Heslop with a great lead over Alistair Nelson. Richard Forber is in third place ahead of Peter Evans and Stephen Shaw.
Pete, Brands Hatch only 3 weeks ago. Now that's got to be one of the unluckiest events. I think we saw that replay there as you were going over that line with the rewind back, but now here we are at Snetterton. Qualifying done, pole position, we're back on form.
Yeah, back on pole, and McAleer's got 2 race wins, so I need 2 race wins. Clark's got 2 race wins, so I really need to get a first. After losing by 1,000th of a second last week at Brands, I need a win. Car's going well. It's a bit wet in qualifying, but then it dried out. My last lap, I probably would have could have found a second, but I had a huge moment around Coram, which woke me up a little bit. But I'm glad to be on pole. I'm looking for. Let's hope I can get a race win.
James, it's been a while since we've caught up with you. Now you seem to be in amongst the action so far this year. 4th in the championship overall last year. So what's the aims this year, and how's it from the driving seat?
Well, it'd be nice to improve on last year. I was quite pleased finishing 4th in the second championship last year, although there were a lot less cars, as we know. So, yeah, I've had some P5s so far, 2 P5s at Donington, P5, P4 at Brands, and qualified P4 here this morning. So, yeah, just hoping to slowly keep working my way forward if possible. So, just nibbling away those little fractions of a second here and there and just try and work my way closer to the front. So, P4, I'm relatively happy with that.
Only 3 weeks ago, we saw you in what looked like a horrendous crash at Brands Hatch. Great to see you back. Clearly, there's been a lot of restoration work of the vehicle and yourself. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, the car was a total wreck, so we had to go out and get another car. It's a new car. We've used the engine and gearbox and swapped the interior over, and we flipped the colours this time from Gulf to from the Gulf currents blue to orange and orange to blue. So.
A lot of work in 3 weeks though, even changing bits over.
Our team at Elite have really turned it around. All the boys, painters, Jason, our mechanic, stayed late, worked through all bank holidays and everything. Yeah, we turned it around. We had to be here. Can't miss a race. Testing was yesterday. Tested it the first time. I thought, fingers crossed, let's make sure everything's happened. It was fine. Yeah.
What about you? Because metal's easy to fix.
Yeah, I've still got 3 broken ribs, and a bit of a dodgy wrist here. So, but I feel okay.
Not keeping you back though, is it? You've been out for qualifying. That went pretty well, I think.
Yeah, I think I was about 9th or 10th, but I was taking it easy. It was wet out there. I didn't want another spin off and get hit again, so I just took it easy.
Stephen, it's been a while since we caught up with you. Second main season, I think, for you. How's it going so far?
Yeah, really good start to the season. Really happy with my progress. I had a big crash back end of last season, which messed with my confidence a bit. But that was in the rain, so I suppose that's what it is, isn't it? But yeah, happy with how I'm performing, going a lot quicker now, a lot more competitive, and as ever, enjoying every single race.
Now, you obviously do this for fun of it, get a lot of enjoyment out of it. So
yeah.
We've got you for the full season there. Realistic aims?
Just enjoy it. Don't keep breaking the car. Keep out the barriers. And just to keep it, I'm not racing against anybody other than myself. So I want to do better than I did last time I was here, and just to keep improving. So when I'm out there, I'm not worried about what anybody else is doing. I just worry about what I'm doing.
Five cars taking to the grid here at Snetterton. A very impressive race turnout. Congratulations to all involved in the club, the organisation, the teams and the drivers. Absolutely superb. With Pete Morris on pole position. Congratulations, Pete. Jake McAleer alongside him. Row 2, Simon Clark and James Cayley. In the Class 2, championship leader Matt Kyle Henney ahead of Toby Barlow with Paul Simpson third. Kevin Molyneux qualifies fourth in Class 2. Class 3, the Boxster Cup, headed by, again, class leader Will Heslop. Richard Forber, keeping him honest, he's getting quicker and quicker. Third in class, Mike Thompson, and fourth, the man we heard from the last of the interview, Stephen Shaw. Good to see Stephen's confidence building up. So he will be looking to do well. And a welcome to the grid to Sarah Thompson, coached by well-known racer Kat Impey. So looking to see Sarah make some progress here. The lights are on, they go out quickly. Great start from Pete. Right, contact there! Mark McAleer gets away quickly and I think scuffs the wall and certainly into the back of Simon Clark's Cayman, but it's Pete Morris that leads. Jake McAleer in P2 as they go into Riches for the first time. Great starts, I think, by Matt Kyle Henney to lead Class 2. So round Riches, short straight now down into the hairpin, used to be known as Montreal, now known as Wilson. 2, 3 wide, plenty of space here. Outside line by James Cayley on the hairpin, gives him the inside for the left-hander first time out at Palmer. He was on the inside line there of Chris Dyer, the former champion, and has gone through. Dyer running in the Strasser red and black colours as ever. I was going to say everybody through cleanly, but it wasn't a clean start. Mark McAleer in the 14 car, coming down into Agostini on the left of shot and on the outside line of Chris Dyer, but gyrates. Is that a problem with damage picked up from the start line incident? He made a very quick start and there wasn't quite room for him to go around the outside of Simon Clark, who runs in third, the second of the Caymans at the moment. James Cayley fourth, then Richard Baston followed by Chris Dyer, but it's the Strasser red and black of Pete Morris that leads. So big confidence boost for Pete Morris. Not that he needs confidence, he is one of the top Porsche racers in the country. As we look at Ashley White, involved in the dice with Peter Evans. That's the Boxster Cup Class 3 battle going on. Pete Morris out of the Brundle-Nelson complex for the first time, heading through Bombhole with Simon Clark in second position. There's our Class 2 leader, the 88 car, and that is Paul Simpson. Our safety car being deployed. Why is the safety car coming out? We haven't seen anything to my knowledge on screen. You might have spotted something back of shot that I've missed somewhere along the line. But we have, it's for Kevin Molyneux. Kevin, that's a big story because Molly second in the championship, 10 points behind Matt Kyle Henney, and his car stranded either on circuit or at a prone position. So in safety's interest, that will be sorted out. It's a long lap here, so we may well get it cleared up within one lap of safety car, but the car certainly, I won't say go on the brakes, but certainly decelerate and go off the gas. Safety car which has come out. There's Kevin's car. Now is Kevin okay? I think Kevin Molyneux is in the car. Oh, there's Kevin coming into shot. He looks okay, but won't be happy with the damaged car. And gesticulating to the front runners in Class 2 as they go past. The clerk of the course will no doubt have a look at whatever has happened from onboard footage and the like. And we'll do that. Is a shame, a big shame. Shame to see Kevin Molyneux out of the race, second in the championship. He potentially will lose out now to Paul Simpson. If Simpson gets a finish here, he will move into second position in the Class 2 standings. Ready to race here again. Sadly, having lost Kevin Molyneux, Pete Morris will continue unabated. You can see it's a good shot there. Gives you the idea of the gradient along the centre straight. They go uphill and then it's a run downhill very slightly into the first corner of Riches where they go now. Cayley fourth, Richard Baston. There is Chris Dyer in the Miller's Oils Strasser, red and black livery, part of the furniture of the Petro-Canada Lubricants Porsche Club Championship with Pirelli over the years. Quite as many Strasser livery cars as we've had in the past. Simpson up ahead. Matt Carl-Henny has pulled back, hasn't he, in yellow? So they're the two leaders in Class 2. Got Andy Baker, former BRSCC Porsche Boxster Cup driver, and this is his second outing of the season. Missed the first round. Carl-Henny having a look at Agostini, too far back to do anything about Paul Simpson in the 88 car at the moment. Paul, of course, former Boxster Cup winner, and 2 class wins for him on the Grand Prix circuit at Brands Hatch, and that is testament to the class structure of this championship, that you can begin in Class 3. You can come into Class 1 if you want, of course, but Paul Simpson came in the Boxster Cup class and was champion there, moving up into Class 2 and proving equally as adept. And that's wonderful to see. We have good battles going on in all 3 classes. So it doesn't matter what your budget is, it doesn't matter what your expertise is, there is someone to race with. And that's what we've got going on at the front with Simon Clark, who here is going to be having thoughts about getting the championship lead, with Mark McAleer having spun. Jake McAleer upholding family honours at the moment in the second of the Caymans, the blue Cayman. And Simon Clark putting Pete Morris under pressure here. And these two guys, always a pleasure to watch. Simon Clark gets a wider run there. If there's a gap on the inside at Murray's, where they come to now, the left-hander, virtually 90-degree corner, then Simon Clark could have made the most of that. There wasn't space, and he wasn't going to do a lunge, but now he gets momentum coming along the centre straight. 27 car is Kevin Ludford chasing Ashley White, so a Class 2 car chasing the Boxster Cup Class 3 for position. Those two running around about 25th, 26th position at the moment. Peter Evans there with Stephen Morrison in the number 8 car, so Stephen Morrison looking to make up ground just ahead of Alistair Nelson. Pete Morris under big pressure here from Simon Clark. The Cayman really chasing hard and takes that wide line again, but that leaves the door open for James Cayley as they come into Coram. Cayley 997 down the inside line of the Cayman. Now I was speculating whether Clark was using that wide line to get a run into Murray's corner last time around. And if he was, it has definitely left the door open for James Cayley, last year's winner here of race 1 at Snetterton, to go up. Now we've got Simon Clark under pressure, the reigning champion, under pressure from Jake McAleer, who draws level. There's the blue wing and nose of the 44 car, but Clark's got the inside line into riches and will maintain 3rd position in the Thomson Reuters car. The Hartec machine, though, Jake McAleer still in 4th. 5th position is Richard Bayston. Richard having a good run. This could be his best result in the championship if he can hold on for 5th position. Peter Evans still in the mix. Kevin Ludford and Andy Baker enjoying their Class 2 battle. Strong turnout again in all the classes, 16 cars in Class 2. There is John Alexander, the Class 1 Cayman, newcomer this year into racing. That looks like he might be pit bound, I think, from the poise of the car coming out of Murray's corner. Indeed it is. So sadly John Alexander looking like he's having a bit of a problem. This is for 2nd in Class 2. The streak of yellow going through shot. Matt Carl-Henny, the class leader, who's got ahead of Paul Simpson. Toby Barlow is running in 3rd place. 4th position, Jesse Chamberlain, you can see going through. So out of 16 cars, Jesse Chamberlain's first competitive outing. It wasn't Brands, but had engine problems. Got on the grid to score some points, the starting points, which was good thinking from him, and he's running well in this one, the ex-Ginetta racer. So the 88 car holding on to 2nd position at the moment. Paul Simpson looking comfortable in that at the moment, and that could well be, he's looking for a 3rd podium in the class, also looking for a 3rd win if he can overcome Matt Carl-Henny as we go back to the overall leaders. And it's Pete Morris still there, Simon Clark looking to put the pressure back onto James Cayley. I think James will be building on that confidence from the first win here, and has passed the reigning champion. I think this circuit may be a great leveller between the Caymans and the 997s, because each circuit will have its own characteristics, and equally we'll hear round by round that the 997s are better on some tracks than others. I think there was an admission that Brands Indy was maybe slightly favouring the Caymans, even though we saw Mark McAleer being so impressive in qualifying, and indeed at the start of race 1 we had 3 poles on the bounce, didn't we, for Mark McAleer? Simon Clark took pole in the second race on Brands Hatch GP. But coming back to this battle, James Cayley runs a little bit wide there, can't quite see in the rear-facing camera as to, Clark's are way back, isn't he? He's not going to be able to mount a challenge at the moment, so he'll be just thinking about getting a race rhythm going. I think that's Sarah Thompson that the leaders are closing down on, our debut racer. Sarah down at Agostini, she will be well drilled about what to do when the Class 1 cars happen across her. You can see the cross on the back of the car indicating that she is brand new to racing. Stephen Shaw, who we heard from in the interview, Alistair Nelson right behind as well. Stephen running in Class 3, Alistair Nelson likewise. So it's not traffic time, but Class 3 car time for the race leader. That car, incidentally, Sarah's car, is Ben McLaughlin's old car. You might remember that, winning in the Restoracing competition many times, 2 championship titles under the belt. So a good car for a newcomer to have to come and race in the championship. Pete Morris, though, still out front. The fastest lap of the race at the moment is with Mark McAleer. I thought his car might have been damaged earlier on. If it is, it's not putting him off. He's got the fastest lap of the race, 2 minutes 6.489. And that's actually quicker than Pete Morris's qualifying time. So McAleer very quick. Toby Barlow fastest at the moment in Class 2, and Richard Forber with the fastest lap in Class 3. And if I sound surprised, it's because we've had Will Heslop dominating things so far as 1, 2 and 3 head up towards the line once again. Pete Morris, the race leader. A bit further back, Stephen Morrison on the inside line of Carl Hazelton. That is for 9th position in class, back with the overall race lead. And that's Matt Kyle Henney, the Class 2 championship leader, erstwhile race class leader, off into the grass. Now, we didn't see what caused that, but that is going to change things over. Is that going to mean that we see Toby Barlow or Paul Simpson take the win in Class 2? Matt Kyle Henney hopefully has got going again. There's Mike Thompson in the number 6. Mike, another Class 3 runner. Used to seeing him up on the podium. 2 podia at Donington Park. Up ahead of Alistair Nelson. Some super racing. Stephen Shaw is in behind them, as you can see. Then Andy Baker in the Class 2, mixing it up with the Class 3s as well. And Mike Thompson certainly enjoying his race at the moment in Class 3. We've got 9 cars in Class 3, I said 16 in Class 2 and 10 in Class 1. A superbly structured championship, and look at the run that Alistair Nelson got there. Textbook stuff here, makes the pass, very neatly done, and he is completely ahead as they go over the line on centre straight, heading down towards Riches once again. But coming back, Mike Thompson having a little nibble. Thompson looking for his 4th finish of the year. There is Will Heslop. So William Heslop, the Class 3 leader. It's Richard Forber in P2. 70 car is Angus Archer, another ex-BRSCC championship runner, and those drivers most welcome into this championship. Had the pleasure of working on that particular series for many seasons. A great championship and wonderful to welcome them here. John Alexander back on track, as you can see, and gentlemanly driving from John, allowing the top 4 through. What other Porsche championship will you see the 4 front runners all together, all battling? We're in car with the 2nd place man, James Cayley, goes on to the last lap, just under 3 miles to go. Pete Morris is looking for the win here. Morris, James Cayley, last year's winner, in 2nd place, last year's champion, Simon Clark in 3rd, and Jake McAleer behind him. Clark is really getting racy now, you can see, getting out towards the outer reaches of the track. He'll take a wide run in, or does he, into the Wilson hairpin. run down towards Palmer now. Let's see what Clark can do here. He's got to be mindful, of course, of Jake McAleer immediately behind. It's almost two classes in Class 1, isn't it, with the 997s and the Caymans. The 997 and overall battle headed by Pete Morris, the Cayman battle headed by Simon Clark. Class 2, Toby Barlow in second in 48. And it is Paul Simpson who leads the class, looking for a second class win, having taken the race 2 win at Brands Hatch. He was actually 5th in the first race on Brands Hatch GP, taking his first class win in the Class 2. He's got clear track ahead of him at the moment, so he's not having to challenge anybody, just really look behind him and see Toby Barlow, who's having a very good go at second position. Out of Agostini, down towards Hamilton. There is Bill Cayley in the number 12. Bill running in 7th position in Class 2 at the moment. Simon Clark still busy chasing down what used to be known as the Revit Straight. So it's James Cayley in 2nd position. Pete Morris, the race leader, has built a little bit of a gap now, so breathing space for Peter Morris, who looks like he's going to grab another career win, first one of the year, longest serving driver in the championship, and he has maintained that form that he set right from day one when he joined the championship all those years ago. Still competitive, still fast as Pete Morris, and a great character. Comes out of Murray's for the last time. Cayley coming under pressure from Clark. Let's see whether Simon Clark's going to put the pressure. Cayley's putting the pressure on Pete Morris here and has got a run as they come to the flag, but Pete Morris runs onto it. Pete Morris takes the win. James Cayley in 2nd, Simon Clark 3rd. Jake McAleer is in 4th position as they go across the line. A gap back to Richard Baston, who gets a career best 5th place. Here's the Class 2 battle, and this is for 8th place overall. It's Paul Simpson who's going to take it from Toby Barlow. Toby kept him honest all the way. 3rd place will go to Andy Muggeridge, who we haven't seen a lot of. He's a little way down on the lead duo, but Andy Muggeridge 3rd from Angus Archer in class, and Jesse Chamberlain next up in Class 2 as Will Heslop wins Class 3. Confirmation for you of the result. Peter Morris takes the win. Morris, Cayley, Clark, McAleer, Baston and Dyer. Class 2 won by Paul Simpson from Toby Barlow and Andy Muggeridge. Class 3 from William Heslop, Richard Forber in 2nd place, Alistair Nelson in 3rd, and Stephen Shaw taking 4th place. Fastest lap overall, Mark McAleer.
First place, well done.
You need poles in the top 3 to get a podium, and I really wanted a race win, so cracking start. No wheel spins off like a scalded cat. Led the race. Safety car came out first lap, which I thought it would do with the field we had. Give me a bit of a breather in the car. Kept tyres in nice. I kept counting them down, like 4 safety laps. Thought, that's it, time to go. But I knew where to block, I knew where to push, and in the end it got me the win. So I'm well happy.
Well, that went rather well.
Yeah, I was really pleased with that. So I had quite a poor start, and Chris, who was in P5 behind me, had a much better one. So by turn 1 I was already into 5th, which wasn't great. And then we obviously had a safety car quite early on. And things got going again. Yeah, they were having a bit of a tussle, and Jake made a little mistake, so I managed to get past him. And then same again, Simon made a little mistake, managed to get past him. Yeah, really pleased with the result.
Yeah, it was a really tough race actually, and that's why we all come into Porsche Club, because it's so, such a close racing. But yeah, it was tough. There was pressure all the way through, defending, attacking. It was tough.
You went pretty well here last year, so it's a track you sort of one of your favourites.
Yeah, it is, and I got unfortunate in qualifying. I hit a back marker Class 3 car at the wrong moment, which cost me pole. But we're on the front row for race 2, so fingers crossed.
Class 2 winner Paul, fantastic racing there. That was a busy race.
Yeah, it's a really close racing. All good.
There was a few lead changes in Class 2 there as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, it went back and forwards. So yeah, some really competitive, close racing. So yeah.
Hot day, safety car out for like 3 laps doesn't help, does it? Really? You're not getting the airflow going through, so that can't help.
No, absolutely. We've got a fan down the side of the car cooling the engine down at the moment, because we were quite hot at the end of the race. I think by the end of the race the tyres were really hot and we were squirming around a bit, so that 3 laps of safety car probably played into our hands.
Now, Toby, over the last few months we keep bumping into each other, but not on the racetrack, unfortunately. It's great to finally see you out there and a second place in the first race.
It's great to be back. Great championship. Obviously, from a couple of years ago, we saw each other a fair bit, which is nice. Great first race, to be honest with you. Kept clean, which was the main thing. Managed to just catch Paul, and then me and Paul had a really, really, really good, fair battle right the way to the flag. And I was probably a little bit quicker over a lap, but he put his car in all the right places. So great driving from him.
Yeah, had a great time. I started right at the back of the grid because I didn't qualify very well. I had a bit of an issue with the car, which we got sorted. So I knew it was going to be a bit of a battle, and I got sort of the bit between my teeth and just went for every opportunity possible. So got off to a good start. We got past a few cars there. The safety car did help a little bit. We just sort of kept picking off people one by one. Had a few lively moments, a few better decisions, and overtook a few cars. So yeah, really pleased with the outcome.
Now, you said you battled from the back of the grid there. Where were you in race 2?
I think I'm at the back of the grid again. I think I'd qualified so badly. So what I want to do is do a complete replica of what I just did in the last race. So
Class 3 winner. You made that look pretty easy.
I think Richard kept me pretty honest. If I'm honest, he's turned into be a bit of a quick lad, and he's keeping me on my toes. He did definitely make me work for it. But I think as soon as I got past the Class 2, the Green Cayman, I got a little bit of a gap, and then I managed to get into my own rhythm. Then I think I was preoccupied with the Class 2 car. But as soon as I got into my own rhythm, I found a little bit more time and a bit of consistency, which obviously held the gap, and I'm really happy with that.
So it's always good to see new drivers on the grid. And Sarah, welcome to the Porsche Club Championship. You've done race 1. How was it?
It was great, thank you. I had a really good time and managed to scrub off 10 seconds from my qualifying time.
Now, what sort of racing have you done before?
I've never done any racing before. I've only done 3 track days before this, so jumping into the deep end.
What encouraged you into this championship?
Well, I looked at a few others like Caterham and Ginetta, and this one just seemed the most friendly and safest option, so I jumped right in.
And what's your realistic aims for the season?
Just really have fun and just improve to the point of being get good times.
Well done. Great to see you racing, and good luck in the next one.
Thank you.
So Jess, we first saw you at Brands Hatch. We saw you qualifying not for racing, but at least this time we've been out in the race.
Yeah, actually it feels good just to be able to start with everybody. Obviously we started at Brands, but quickly pulled in both races, picked up starting points. We had a constant misfire, so we've got the car back to the workshop. Found out it was running on 4 cylinders, a wiring issue. So Dad's worked incredibly hard, and to get us here. So yeah, just a big shout out to my dad. We want to be running a few cars, so this is a massive learning curve for us as a team, not just me as a driver. We've got some really good sponsors on board that are sponsoring the team, that believe in us. So yeah, we'll keep cracking away at it, keep learning.
Another impressive grid for race 2 of the weekend, our third event of the season for the Petro-Canada Lubricants Porsche Club Championship with Pirelli. And it is Jake McAleer on pole from Simon Clark, Pete Morris and James Cayley, with Mark McAleer and Chris Dyer on row 3. Class 2 headed by Matt Culhenny from Toby Barlow and Paul Simpson. The absent Kevin Molyneux seats 4th place on the grid to Angus Archer. Class 3 William Heslop from Richard Forber, Mike Thompson and Alistair Nelson. Conditions good, still a warm day here at Snetterton, and 25 minutes of racing action underway now. Great start from the 2 Caymans on the front row. Watch for the red and black Strasser 997 of Pete Morris, looking to nose his way up into maybe second, maybe first place. Great start from James Cayley in 4th as well. And it is Morris who gets his nose on the inside line of Simon Clark, who might get the run around Riches to hold on to second position as they head down the short straight into the hairpin. Here is Paul Simpson, 3rd position in Class 2, the winner of race 1 in class. Matt Culhenny is passed by Toby Barlow, but Matt's going to have the inside run as they head down to Palmer. Matt indeed looking on that inside line. It's Jake McAleer who emerges in the overall lead. Simon Clark indeed holding on to second place from Peter Morris. There is Richard Ellis in his 996, the ex-Craig Wilkins car. Craig now away racing in the GT Cup competition in a Ginetta and doing rather well, as of course the Petro-Canada Lubricants Porsche Club Championship with Pirelli drivers do when they move on elsewhere. Some other previous drivers moving on to British GT as well, and of course whilst we're always sorry to lose drivers, we wish them well in their racing endeavours and keep a good keen eye on them, as we are on the leaders at the moment, with Jake McAleer out front looking to emulate his dad Mark with a win in race 2 here at Snetterton. Field going through, and group of Class 2s here. That's Carl Hazelton up ahead of Stephen Morrison, and they're just about to come on to the Bentley Straight, exiting Bentley Straight and indeed the complex following that. Jake McAleer still from Simon Clark. Pete Morris is next up. Mark McAleer trying to have a little nibble here at James Cayley. Great second place for James in that previous race. Class 2 still holding on to the some of the front running Class 1s at the moment. So into Murray's Corner at the end of the first lap. Toby Barlow having a good run, isn't he there, Toby Barlow, in the 48 car, actually staying in the wheel tracks of Chris Dyer, the former champion. Won the championship as the Class 2 winner quite a while ago now, 2010. Chris Dyer succeeded Jeremy Clark, Jez Clark, as the overall champion. Ben Dimitri, Class 1 champion for that season. Simon Clark having a look at Jake McAleer. Pete Morris, podium Pete Morris. Now if he gets a podium, we'll come back to Pete Morris, because going through shot now, just heading out of shot, is the Class 3 leader Richard Forber ahead of the Pink Pig, and Will Heslop runs a little bit wide. Richard Forber is leading Class 3. He might have got the run off the start. I didn't catch that off the start, to be honest, but he is leading it now. So Richard Forber, fastest lap in race number 1. As you heard William Heslop say, he's getting quicker and quicker. So we've got battles developing at the sharp end of Class 3. And after today's round, we've got Alton Park on the 3rd of July, Silverstone on the 14th of August, Brands Hatch on the 5th of September, and wrapping up here at Snetterton 2nd of October. So plenty of time for championship places to change. Andy Muggeridge looking down the inside line of Julian Morris, which is achieved. Julian, I'm still looking out for the old Golf livery rather than the reverse livery, which we saw at the start of the show. It's a very well prepared car. Nice that he's kept that nod to the iconic Golf livery, albeit reverse. So fair play to Julian Morris and the Class 2 team. After their second retirement of the year, retired from the first race of the season at Donington Park. So William Heslop doing what he's done all season so far, passing a Class 2 car. That's Carl Hazelton. I think William Heslop will be one of the drivers very possibly looking at moving up into Class 2 for next year. Of course, everything is about funding and teams as much as anything else. James Cayley still there in 4th place. Mark McAleer just looking to try and improve. It was 14th place after that gyration for Mark in race number 1. A bit of a dent in his championship points for sure. So we're definitely going to see, I think, a new Class 1 leader after today. There is Richard Forber up ahead of Stephen Morrison, so the Class 3 leader ahead of Stephen Morrison, Stephen running 8th in Class 2. So this is great pace, isn't it, from Richard Forber up amongst, about halfway through the Class 2 machines, which is pretty impressive. Kevin Ludford ahead of this group as well. William Heslop, as you can see now, only the one car, Stephen Morrison between himself and the class leader. So Heslop is now having to fight for not only podium positions but the class lead. He's on the outside line now. Andy Muggeridge joins him for company. Andy replicating, as he hoped, his drive that he had in race number 1. I'm not sure whether he'll be able to get up onto the podium. Mark McAleer busy having a look here at James Cayley once again. Real cat and mouse between these two. So Kevin Ludford coming down towards us. Richard Forber on the inside line. Remember, Class 3 car on the inside of Class 2. Stephen Morrison goes through. Andy Mungridge is going to go through as well, on the inside of Kevin Ludford. And then William Heslop trying to chase. He's now got 3 cars between himself and the class leader. He's going to try and get that down to 2. So he looks on the inside line. He's losing sight of Richard Forber at the minute, but having said that, Heslop's lap time still pretty good, still banging in some quick lap times, but the traffic maybe not playing out the way that he would like at the moment to try and have a wheel-to-wheel dice with Richard Forber. First and second still fighting it out. Jake McAleer in the Hartech car. Thomson Reuters machine of Simon Clark. Cayman 1, Cayman 2 along centre straight. You can see the things getting slightly cooler as we get later in the day here at Snetterton. Simon Clark looking to pitch up with a 3rd race win of the season. Jake McAleer looking for his first win of the season. And looking good. Both of those machines immaculately presented. And Clark very close indeed. Pete Morris is next up. Now, a little stat for you about Pete Morris. We'll come back to Pete in a minute because we're focusing on 4th and 5th. James Cayley in 4th place. Mark McAleer is in 5th position at the moment. Chris Dyer running in 6th, a little bit shy of this group. If you look back, you can see Chris just coming into shot. Meanwhile, we go back to the main straight. There is Richard Forber in Class 3. A couple of Class 2s behind him. Stephen Morrison in the number 8 Boxster. Andy Mugridge in the 17 car. Andy had the awful Donington Park non-start race 1, non-finish in race 2, bounced back at Brands with 2 4th places and bagged a 3rd position podium in race number 1. So still all to play for here at Snet. Welcome back to Snetterton. Sarah Thompson goes through shot and it's Jake McAleer who is closing down on her at the moment. Let's see whether Sarah will leave it to the outside line, and Simon Clark read that well. Sarah was on the inside on the apex of the corner, saw the faster cars coming through, moved to the outside line, and Simon Clark made the move over to the inside quicker than Jake McAleer and nips through and grabs the lead. That could be crucial. This is crucial as well. William Heslop chasing Richard Forber. This is now a battle because there are no Class 2 cars between the leading 2 Class 3s. Fantastic stuff up ahead of them. The Class 1, John Alexander, Stephen Morrison in the number 8. That's an immaculately prepared Cayman, isn't it, for John Alexander, newcomer to the championship this year, newcomer to motor racing as well. A little bit further back, Bill Cayley. No, actually, Bill Cayley is further ahead. There is Jesse Chamberlain. Bill Cayley running 4th in class at the moment. Jesse Chamberlain dicing with him as well. And William Heslop goes through, gets the lead. William Heslop leads Class 3. Richard Forber coming back and sweeps through on the inside line. Super stuff from Class 3. These guys learning their racecraft superbly. John Alexander has a little bit of a moment. Richard Forber fighting the car on the exit of the hairpin. So it's Richard Forber back into the class lead. We'll see him come into shot. William Heslop still there in 2nd place. Of course, the ideal scenario for any Class 3 car that's being challenged is to get some of the slower Class 2 cars behind them. Look at Heslop there, nice wide line into the Agostini hairpin, and that could afford him a good run here down to Hamilton Corner and maybe to re-challenge for the lead. John Alexander, the great thing, John Alexander, as I say, newcomer into racing this year, and his overall placings have gone up and up and up with every single race that we've seen. He's doing such a terrific job of learning the tracks and the cars as well, and would be, getting in the 20s positions wise, but now into the teens. So really enjoying his his progression as a driver. William Heslop is going to challenge for the class lead again, looks down the inside line of Richard Forber and gets through, but Forber's got the inside line and tags the back of Heslop's car. William Heslop runs wide. Forber will be, I think, kicking himself about that, and his rival has gone off. It was a super race up to that point between the pair of them, and that is such a sad thing to see. The 32 car, first retirement of the year, and a bit of contact. We need to see a replay to maybe work out what happened in the run up to that point, but we focus on John Alexander, potentially on his way to maybe nearer his best finish in the championship here as well, having a good run in the immaculate 20 Cayman, about to, I think, try and put the move on Stephen Morrison. They cross the line. We've got black and white flag going up for somebody. William Heslop very sadly out of the race. It means we're going to have a first time winner in Class 3 as Jake McAleer tries to hunt down Simon Clark out front. Simon with the view that everybody wants from their camera, their onboard camera, which is clear circuit. If we were looking in the rear view mirror, we would see some blue. Jake McAleer busy chasing. Difficult scenario, to be absolutely fair, for Sarah Thompson in her first race meeting. That's John Muir that they are catching now in the 69 car. John running in 13th place in Class 2. So here is Mike Thompson from Julian Morris watching the footage back. I think William Heslop will find that the repeated look at his car rubbing salt into the wound for him just a little bit. We had a look at Jesse Chamberlain there running at the moment in 7th position. And there's Vikram Sudera. First look at Vikram in this one. Wasn't with us at Brands Hatch, but having a good debut at Donington Park. And you might remember we had a little natter with him before racing got underway at Donington Park. So through and past John Newell goes the 23 of race leader, reigning champion, Simon Clark in the Cayman. Jake McAleer will go through as well. Richard Forber pretty much on his own in Class 3 at the moment. Second in Class 3 is Alistair Nelson, with Mike Thompson running in 3rd position. Richard Forber chasing Kevin Ludford, who runs 9th in Class 2. The number 90 car there is Sarah Thompson. And Sarah's lap times, as she said, from qualifying, you know, coming down big time. Vikram Sudera dicing with Vince Blacker, a driver we met for the first time as well. Brand new driver to car racing is Vince Blacker. Richard Baston negotiating a little bit of traffic superbly. Round the outside line we go, passes Vikram as well. So Richard Baston, 7th position in class for him at the moment. Richard Baston, the 85, best result for him in race number 1. 6th in the championship for Class 1 coming into this weekend, and pulling away from those Class 2 cars. Joining in the retirements now, Ashley White joins William Heslop. We've also sadly lost Mark McAleer. Simon Clark, much more traffic to deal with in this race, and that's because we didn't have the safety car thus far in this race. So Simon Clark still having to work his way through. He's put a bit of space between himself and Jake McAleer. Jake will have the consolation at the moment of the fastest lap of the race. So Mike Thompson is passed, and through and past Julian Morris goes the race leader onto the last lap. Is Jake McAleer. Well, he's got the fastest lap, but has he got enough momentum to close down on Simon Clark? Simon still working his way through the traffic here at Snetterton. Jake McAleer's got to do exactly the same thing. Alistair Nelson is passed by the race leader. Jake McAleer manages to get through as well. Meanwhile, we pick up with the 48 car. This is Toby Barlow, class leading Toby Barlow. So he's going to be pleased, isn't he? From 2nd position in race number 1 to a potential class win here for the 48. First meeting of the season for Toby Barlow, and sort of flying off the cobwebs, metaphorically, in a fine way, and heading Class 2 at the moment from Matt Cole-Henny, who is in 2nd place. Pete Morris there in the number 2. OK, I'm going to throw the stat in about Pete Morris. If he finishes on the podium here, it will be a 99th career podium. Is he going to get the 100th career podium at Alton Park next time out? Here is still making progress. Andy Muggeridge goes past the 66 of Vikram Sudera, puts a lap on Vikram. That wasn't for position, but he is still chasing hard. There is Pete Morris. He's still running in 3rd. James Cayley in 4th will be looking to deprive Peter of that 99th podium. But Simon Clark, the leader, from Jake McAleer. We get a clear view of them. Podium Pete Morris with his lights on in 3rd. James Cayley is 4th. A little way back is Chris Dyer in 5th position from Rich Ellis in P6. Those cars incidentally parked up safe behind the barrier there, in case you were wondering. So Julian Morris running in 22nd position, 11th out of the 16 runners in Class 2. Jake McAleer chases, but it is going to be Simon Clark who will take the honours here at Snetterton. The Thomson Reuters car picks up a 3rd win of the season. There is the checker. Simon Clark, the reigning champion, wins. Jake McAleer 2nd. It is going to be a 99th podium for Pete Morris. He picks up at 99. He'll probably have one in the paddock afterwards as well, courtesy of Mr. Whippy, I should think, in celebration. 4th place, James Cayley. 5th is Chris Dyer. There is our winner, Simon Clark. Toby Barlow still leading Class 2. Richard Forber leading in Class 3. Toby Barlow takes the checkered flag, the 48 car. There is Toby having crossed the line, and Richard Forber winning Class 3. Let's have a look at the official classification. Clark from McAleer, Pete Morris, James Cayley, Chris Dyer, Richard Ellis next up. Class 2 won by Toby Barlow. Class 3 won by Richard Forber. 2nd in class, Alistair Nelson. 3rd in class going to Mike Thompson. Fastest laps in respective classes, Jake McAleer, Toby Barlow and William Heslop.
Really pleased, actually, really pleased, particularly with that result. It was nice to get clear of the 911s early and have a bit of a battle with Jake. Another came and yeah, it was fantastic. Jake was still putting pressure on. I did drop him a bit, but we had so many back markers, and you can't afford to keep, I had to kind of keep on pushing because I didn't know how much time that was going to cost me as I got to them. So I
think first podium of the year for us, really happy with it. I think obviously the first front row start in that car this weekend, 2 of them, first pole position, fastest lap, and now kind of a podium. It sets off nicely. I'd have liked the win, but there you go.
Great racing, and obviously you're 2nd and the 1st, so you couldn't ask for better, really.
No. I mean, to be honest with you, that one was for my dad. Meant a lot, to be honest. And as soon as I got clear at the start, I thought, this is it, I'm having it now. Absolutely. And to be fair to the guys, they've worked really well during the lunchtime. We've refined the setup just a little bit more. We struggled at the end of race 1 with tyres going off, so we changed on a few pressures and just tweaked a few bits. And to be honest, that car was just on rails. I mean, massive thanks to FastEddies.biz and SMC for providing me such a fantastic car this weekend.
Class winner, that must feel good. We're early part of the season and yet you've already got some podiums and now your first win.
Yeah, I mean, never expected to be where I am now, and to be running the same pace as the top 3. And to be, I got the fastest lap in the first race, and it was by 1/2 tenth. So, they say a blink of an eye is 1/10 of a second. So it's 1/2 of a blink. I can't. Ecstatic.
Into the championship lead goes race 2 winner Simon Clark, 10 points clear of Pete Morris with Mark McAleer 3rd, James Cayley in 4th ahead of Jake McAleer. In Class 2, Matt Carl-Henny retains the lead, 11 points clear of Paul Simpson. Carl Hazelton is 3rd with Kevin Molyneux, Andy Muggeridge and Richard Styrin. The Boxster Cup still headed by Will Heslop, but the lead now down to 16 points ahead of Alistair Nelson. Richard Forber in 3rd from Stephen Shaw. The trophy presentations are underway here at Snetterton. Thanks for watching today. We'll see you next time at Alton Park.